Is Tuesday the 31st of December 2013, and this is an update to my earlier video about BPEarthWatch's Comet ISON predictions, and a general update about where things are at with Comet ISON, and claims that we'd be travelling through the debris of Comet ISON and being pelted with meteors, fireballs and so forth. In a number of BPEarthWatch's videos we've heard such claims. We've heard him say that there are mile-wide rocks in the debris field of Comet ISON. We've heard him say that the astronauts on board the International Space Station should not be on board when the Earth travels through the debris field, and he's talked about craters the size of the Diablo crater in the Arizona desert, which was punched out by a huge meteor many thousands of years ago. Now, so what have we seen in the last few days? Comet ISON was at its, or at least what is left of Comet ISON, was at its closest point to the Earth on the 26th of December, based on the NASA JPL projections. No one has been able to recover Comet ISON so far. There have been some images doing the rounds that people thought that possibly they had recovered it. I saw another one last night which has yet to be confirmed, but the interim reports that I've seen is that the image that I saw posted last night is not Comet ISON, but that remains to be seen. Even Bruce Gary earlier on thought that possibly he had, or his team had, recovered Comet ISON, but as it turned out it was not Comet ISON. So in the last few days we have had some fireball reports, and in fact there was a massive fireball sighting over Iowa and Minnesota, and this is a report on the American Meteor Society website, AMS, and the AMS have received over 1,050 reports so far about a fireball over the border of Iowa and Minnesota on December 26. So everybody will be in Ferrari over this and saying, oh, it's Comet ISON, and you know, we're going through the debris field and all this sort of thing. But let's get down to reality. The fact is that fireball sightings are often seen, and this is what the American Meteor Society is all about. You know, they were founded in 1911, and they've been going since then, and they've had this website going since, I believe, 2005. And you know, they chart these reports, and you know, I've seen fireballs in the sky over many years, and so have many other astronomers. So it's nothing unusual, it's nothing new. They've always happened, and they always will happen. And of course the Earth is always passing through comet debris. In fact, there are more than 50 regular meteor showers every year. You can Google those, just Google meteor showers, and you can read all about them. The next regular meteor shower that we will be going through is the quadrantids on January 3rd to the 4th, and that's with an expected peak of about 100 or 50 to 100 meteors per hour visible. So that's on January 3rd to the 4th, and no doubt when we have that meteor shower, people will be in a big Ferrari again, say, it's Comet ISON, we're going through the debris field, yada yada yada. Okay, but anyway, back to the AMS and reports of fireballs. I contacted the American Meteor Society and asked them if they could point me in the right direction for resources to look at claims of a sudden increase in fireball sightings. Also, I requested their own opinion as to whether or not they've seen any particular increase in fireball and meteor sightings both this year and this month, being December. And I got a response back from the American Meteor Society, AMS, and some very helpful links there, including this first one, which I will take you to in a moment. And it goes on to say we received 17,013 reports that we grouped into 3,416 events in 2013. We received 6,640 reports that we grouped into 2,142 events in 2013. The only conclusion we can draw at this point is that our site is now easier to find online. Meteors and asteroids became very popular this year after the Chelyabinsk event in February. The busiest month of this year was September for the number of reports and October for the number of events. We can't draw any scientific conclusion yet, as the number of visitors of our site increased by 412.43% compared to 2011, mainly because we improved the search engine optimization of our website. So there's some very helpful information, and I'll take you to that first link here, and we'll take a closer look at that now. This article was written and prepared by Mike Hankey in March 18, 2013. And we can see the introduction here. I'll put a link in the description area. I recommend that you do read through this. There's some very good information, but if you skip over it, then you will take it out of context, as I have seen one person do already, Logan Runnan. Okay, now there's some charts here with some data overview, and here is a good example of data that is used out of context, Logan Runnan. Here is a chart from 2005 through to early 2013, and it appears to show a great increase in the number of fireballs, or does it? If we read the chart properly and read the notes around it, we see a different story. This is not a graph of actual fireballs, it is a graph of reports submitted to AMS per year. Okay. Now obviously, since the internet, the growth of the internet, mobile devices and so forth, a lot more people are better connected and are following this sort of thing. And then of course earlier this year we had the Chelyabinsk Meteor event, fireball event in Russia, and that was widely reported in the news, and a lot more people became aware of fireballs and took a greater interest in it. And as a result, because of links posted on the likes of YouTube and Facebook and other websites, a lot more people discovered websites like AMS, and so they became more active in reporting events such as this. So this is not about an increase in actual fireballs, this is about an increase in reports. Okay, and now let's have a look at the notes surrounding these charts. It says here, as the graph below illustrates, the number of reports filed with the AMS has been increasing over the last few years. The level of traffic on the site, the popularity of the site, and improvements to the software are all contributing to more reports being filed. More people are able to find the site and more easily complete the report application. These factors contribute to an increase in witness reports being filed with the AMS. And so here we have fireball reports submitted to AMS per year. And we can see that there's a greater number of reports. Not necessarily a greater number of fireballs, but certainly a greater number of reports. It says here, not only are more reports being submitted, but also more unique events are being created. The following is a graph of unique fireball events registered by the AMS each year from January 2005 through February 27th, 2013. And here is that chart. And again, the same thing applies. It comes down to reporting, not increased fireball events. Now I just want to point something out here too that that somebody else had pointed to and said, this information that Dazza was pointing out isn't even up to date, because it says here January, February 2013, and of course we're at the end of the year now. But hang on a minute, this report, if you remember, was written back in March 2013, at the first quarter of this year. So that is why this chart only goes to January, February 2013. But there's other information that's posted here, which we'll look at in a little while, which brings us up to date. Now there's a very good summary here in this article that we'll go through, circumstances affecting the number of reports and events collected by the American Meteor Society. There are circumstances affecting the data collected by the AMS that should be understood to prevent misinterpretation regarding the change of fireballs reported. 1. From January 2005 through December 2010, the AMS Fireball Report System was based on the same data collection form and process created by Bob Lunsford in 2005. 2. In December 2010, the AMS Fireball Reporting System was upgraded to a database Google Map system developed by Mike Hankey and Company. 3. The new software made it much easier for witnesses to file reports and resulted in more witnesses successfully reporting events. 4. Internet traffic on the AMS site has increased since 2005. In current years, more people are connected with mobile devices, laptops and computers than ever before. This leads to more people reporting fireballs. 5. At least one huge event with over 100 plus reports in 2009 was space trash, and there was at least one space trash event for 2012. The graph of 100 plus events has not been adjusted to account for space trash. 6. A percentage of reports received are cloud contrails, planes, sundogs or phenomenon other than fireball meteors. These reports are deleted when detected and generally tend to be events reported by only one witness. 7. In November 2012, the AMS Fireball reporting software was upgraded again, and this upgrade resulted in an immediate increase of reports received. It is believed that improvements to the user interface lessen the amount of form abandonment and other training issues that may have kept witnesses from successfully logging events on the previous version. So there's some very key points in that summary. Obviously the technology has improved, the website for AMS has improved, and this has led to increased reporting of fireballs. So we're not talking about an increase in actual fireballs themselves, we're talking about an increase in fireball reporting. And remember, as we saw in that message from AMS via Facebook, they pointed out that they've seen visitors to their site increase by 412% based on or compared to 2011, and as they said, it was mainly because they improved the search engine optimization of their website. And also let's remember this comment here, that the busiest month of this year was September for the number of reports and October for the number of events. And remember how the reports are broken down into specific events wherever possible. We've got matching reports that are obviously the same object, then that is a single event, so they're able to match those up wherever possible. And again, the only conclusion that they can draw at this point is that their website is now easier to find online. That is their own emphasis on the word only. It is the only conclusion that they can draw at this point. Now another point I'd like to make is that as an amateur astronomer, I'm on a number of websites, Facebook pages and so on, such as this one, Aotearoa Astrophotography. Aotearoa is the Māori name for New Zealand, and this is a local astrophotography page that I'm a member of. And there are a number of members on this page who are posting their own images. I post images here as well. And we've got astronomers who are outside whenever the skies are clear, and they're using professional equipment to take images of the night sky. They're spending hours at a time outside under the stars watching what's going on. And if you talk to any serious astronomer who's really spending a lot of time watching the sky, like these guys, they will tell you the same thing. They will tell you that they have not seen any significant increase in meteor or fireball activity. Now, I was away from home myself over the Christmas period for a few days, and I was out in the countryside where we had beautifully clear skies on the 27th of December. We had some rain and clouds the previous nights, but on the 27th of December we had very clear skies. Now this was away from the city lights, and I was getting a much better view than I can in town where I live, even at the observatory, which is not far from where I live. And here's a view of Orion. I was amazed at the number of stars that I could see. These pictures were just taken with a Canon EOS 60DA on a standard tripod. I wasn't using tracking at all. But I took a number of pictures, and this image here shows an iridium flare. This is actually a satellite moving across the sky, and as the antennae on it catch the sunlight and reflect the sunlight, the reflected light intensifies greatly. It becomes brighter than the planet Venus in the sky. That was a 30-second exposure. But you can see the number of stars that we can see in that image. It was just an incredibly clear night, beautiful starry night, and I was out there for the best part of an hour taking pictures, and during that time, on the 27th of December, I saw 3 ordinary shooting stars over the period of about an hour. Nothing exceptional, nothing unusual, and as I say, during a meteor shower you can expect to see even up to 100 meteors or shooting stars per hour. Now back to BPEarthWatch and his predictions of fireballs and the Earth passing through a huge debris field from Comet ISON, that we're going to be bombarded with mile-wide rocks punching out craters the size of the Arizona meteorite crater, and that the International Space Station was in danger, and the astronauts, oh my god, the astronauts, they better not be on the International Space Station when this happens. Guys, you better be off there, guys. This is what he was saying in his video. Now, I've seen this image doing the rounds in recent days on Facebook and other websites, and of course people were posting it, and people were seeing it and sharing it and reposting it and passing it on, and people were saying, oh my god, it's happening, it's happening. Only problem is, if you do a reverse image search on this image, you soon discover that it's actually from a scene from Final Fantasy. It's not a real image. And this is what happens, you see. People post images like this and they get passed on and people think that they're real and they get shared around, and you know, it's the old story, isn't it, about lies spreading around the world in seconds, and with the internet, of course, it makes it all possible. But if what BPEarthWatch has been saying is true, then this is the sort of scene that I would be expecting to see when I go outside at night, or at least something close to this. You know, if he's talking about mile-wide meteors punching out holes the size of the Arizona meteorite crater, the Diablo crater, then this is the sort of thing that we should be seeing when we go outside at night. Now, speaking to my viewers one-to-one here, who can put their hand up and say that they've seen something like this in recent nights when they've gone outside? I certainly can't. Yes, there are fireballs, and there always have been, and there always will be, but we're not going to be seeing anything like this as a result of Comet ISON. That is my prediction. I posted this video back on the 17th of December 2013, BPEarthWatch Comet ISON predictions call to account. And we haven't finished with BPEarthWatch. He's made all of these videos where, you know, Earth is passing through diseased space, dust and Comet ISON debris, you know, ISON's debris trail data and all this sort of thing. And I covered some of the predictions that he's made in his video. I'll put a link to this video here in the description area of this video that I'm doing now. You'll find it in the description area. But have a listen to those predictions that BPEarthWatch made in those sound bites that I took from his videos. 26th of December has been and gone, and now we're looking ahead to early to mid-January, and you know, we're going to be looking at the real fireball reports, and you know, let's just see if the International Space Station is in one piece, and let's see how many craters have been punched out in the Earth in the next few weeks, if any. And then we'll be asking BPEarthWatch to explain what went wrong. Now remember that this is the guy that previously masqueraded as Mr. Comet Watch and made all sorts of predictions about Comet Elenin, I beg your pardon. And where did that go? Comet Elenin disintegrated, just like Comet ISON, and was never seen again. And were we pelted with meteorites from Comet Elenin? Was the Earth impacted? Did we see pole shift like some people were predicting? No, we didn't, and that's my prediction again for Comet ISON. We will not be bombarded with debris from Comet ISON. We will not be seeing massive fireballs in the sky, maybe one or two, but that is normal. And remember, the 3rd and 4th of January is the Quadrantids meteor shower, which is normal, so don't let anyone fool you with that one. As always, do check out my Facebook discussion page, Voices of Reason to Explain X, or VORTEX. You'll find a link in the description area. Thank you for watching. Hello YouTube, this is Dazza the Cameraman. Today is Tuesday the 31st of December 2013, and this is an update to my earlier video about BPEarthWatch's Comet ISON predictions, and a general update about where things are at with Comet ISON, and claims that we'd be travelling through the debris of Comet ISON and being pelted with meteors, fireballs and so forth. In a number of BPEarthWatch's videos we've heard such claims. We've heard him say that there are mile-wide rocks in the debris field of Comet ISON. We've heard him say that the astronauts on board the International Space Station should not be on board when the Earth travels through the debris field, and he's talked about craters the size of the Diablo crater in the Arizona desert, which was punched out by a huge meteor many thousands of years ago. Now, so what have we seen in the last few days? Comet ISON was at its, or at least what is left of Comet ISON, was at its closest point to the Earth on the 26th of December, based on the NASA JPL projections. No one has been able to recover Comet ISON so far. There have been some images doing the rounds that people thought that possibly they had recovered it. I saw another one last night which has yet to be confirmed, but the interim reports that I've seen is that the image that I saw posted last night is not Comet ISON, but that remains to be seen. Even Bruce Gary earlier on thought that possibly he had, or his team had, recovered Comet ISON, but as it turned out it was not Comet ISON. So in the last few days we have had some fireball reports, and in fact there was a massive fireball sighting over Iowa and Minnesota, and this is a report on the American Meteor Society website, AMS, and the AMS have received over 1,050 reports so far about a fireball over the border of Iowa and Minnesota on December 26. So everybody will be in Ferrari over this and saying, oh, it's Comet ISON, and you know, we're going through the debris field and all this sort of thing. But let's get down to reality. The fact is that fireball sightings are often seen, and this is what the American Meteor Society is all about. You know, they were founded in 1911, and they've been going since then, and they've had this website going since, I believe, 2005. And you know, they chart these reports, and you know, I've seen fireballs in the sky over many years, and so have many other